Criminal defense attorney Julius Kim, not involved in the case, but you have been involved in some very big cases before. So what does this say, do you think, Julius, about the chokehold that was at the center of this case? The prosecutors say it is the chokehold that killed Joel Acevedo. What does today's decision mean about that?
Yeah, I think that that was kind of the crux of the defense argument here. They didn't concede the issue or the notion that Mr. Mattioli put Mr. Acevedo in an actual chokehold. It sounds to me that they tried to paint it out that he was more trying to restrain him. His hands were around the neck area, but they wouldn't concede the issue that it was an actual chokehold. And so I think that played into the jury's decision.
And for the jury, they have to be 100% convinced. It surprised me that on this medical decision, there seemed to be so much gray area in this case. Did that surprise you?
It didn't surprise me that that the jurors ultimately decided to come back with a not guilty verdict because there were these other contributing factors that Mr. Acevedo had. He had, asthma. He had other health factors that brought into question what the true cause of death was in this situation. Clearly, the encounter contributed to what happened, but as to whether Mr. Mattioli was actually guilty of homicide, I think that the jurors ultimately decided that he wasn't. Clearly, they decided that.
One thing that really surprised me in this case when we heard Michael Mattioli deciding to take the stand, usually a very risky move for a defendant to take the stand because then prosecutors get a crack at pretty much anything you say on there. But we've had some big cases here where the defendants have taken the stand and it seems to have worked in their favor. Michael Mattioli here, the Kyle Rittenhouse case. Jesse Kershevsky, we're watching that case closely in Waukesha. That's the eye drops homicide trial. She has chosen not to take the stand. Does this change, as a defense attorney, your view on your client going up there on the stand?
Not really. And the reason why is because every case is unique. You have to look at every case as its own set of facts. And there are certain cases where it might not be a bad idea to call your client to the stand, or that you feel like you have to call your client to the stand. And this was one of those cases where the defense thought that Mr. Mattioli had to take the stand. I agreed with that decision, quite frankly, and it seems to have worked.
This closes the book on the criminal case, and attorneys already for the Acevedo family says they're going to take this to a civil trial. Is there a door open there for the Acevedo? This would be probably a financial win that they're trying to go for. The rules in civil court are very different, right?
They are. The burden of proof is lower than in civil court than it is in a criminal court. It's a lot lower. There are different causes of actions that can be brought in a civil court as well. Clearly they're going to pursue a civil action as a result of this incident, but in the end, I'm not sure that's going to make them feel better. I think today's verdict was really the verdict that they were looking forward to getting in their favor.
Julius Kim from Kim and Lavoie, appreciate your expertise.